Goeiemiddag graad 11, welkom terug. Ons is vandag weer besig met reduksieformules. We are busy with our second class reduction formulas, but now instead of using angles like theta and alpha, we're going to use number angles. So the question in this case is determine the value of each of the following expressions without using a calculator. Bereken die waarde van hierdie uitdrukking sonder om 'n sakrekenaar te gebruik. So die instrumente wat ek nodig het om sonder 'n sakrekenaar te werk is my kaasdiagram and I need my special angles. So your special angles, you can either draw your little two triangles of juffrou het vir julle in die handboek hierdie die eerste kwadrant van 0 tot 90 grade gewys waar hy begin met wortel 4, wortel 3, wortel 2, wortel 1, wortel 0 in die x-waarde se kant en y-waarde se kant root 0, root 1, root 2, root 3, root 4. That's quite easy. There you've got your 30 degrees, 45, 60 and 90. This one is quite handy as well. See that I've changed this angle 1, 1, root 2 to root 2, root 2 and 2. Hoekom het jy vir dit gedoen? Want dit is baie makliker om berekeninge te doen as hy so lyk. Exactly the same. Angle, a triangle, it's the 45 degree triangle. So let's start. First thing we need to do, we need to change this 240 with a reduction formula to a known angle. So ons gaan werk met 180 grade plus 60. 180 plus 60 is presies gelyk aan 240, so hierdie en hierdie ding is identies. Now I'm gonna apply my reduction formula. 180 plus gives me a minus sin of 60. And now I can either refer to that triangle or to that. Remember in this case, R will always be 2. This diagram. So we've got minus sin of 60. Sin is y on r, so it's y on r, root 3 on 2. Now I'm done. If I use this triangle, 60, sinus, dit is my oorstaande waarde op my skuinsy, so dit is wortel 3 op 2. If I use this one, 60, my y value on r, that's 2, so it's both quite easy. Kom ons doen hierdie enetjie. Die kos van 330 kan ons verander na die kos van 360 minus 30. Remember my reduction formulas, 180 plus minus, 360 plus minus. My cofunctions is 90 plus minus en 270 plus minus. So ons kan ons dan gaan verander na 180 grade minus 45 grade. And now we can first apply our reduction formulas. Cos 360 minus, daar is kos bly kos positief, so ek het die kos van 30 grade. En die tan van 180 minus is min tan van 45. Kom ons doen substitusie. Let's quickly see. Cos of 30, if we go there, the cosinus, it's x on r, root 3 on 2. Root 3 on 2. And then we divide it with minus the tangent of 45. Tangent of 45 is root 2 on root 2. That gives you 1. Wortel 2 op wortel 2. Ons kan dit in die driehoekies opdoen. Kos van 60, daar is 60. Aangrensend. Ons kyk, kos van 60. Aangrensend is 1 op 2, kos van 30, excuse, kos van 30, aangrensend, root 3 on the hypotenuse 2, so that's correct. And then if we go to the tangent of 45, opposite on adjacent, root 2 on root 2, that gives me minus 1. So my finale antwoord is dan minus wortel 3 op 2. Let's go to that one. Very important, very important grade 11s. When we get a square in trigonometry, we immediately rewrite it and we put the square on the outer side. So I've rewritten that and I've rewritten that. Now I'm going to apply reduction formulas. So there I'm going to use 360 minus 45. Want dit is gelijk aan 315 grade. Substitute it into the place of. Doen substitutie. 210 is 180 plus 30 grade. And that's a square as well. So die sin van 360 minus, sin van 360 minus is min sin van 45. So that's going to be the minus sin of 45. And very important, it's going to be squared minus 1. And then the sin of 180 plus is also minus sin of 30. It's going to be squared. So when it's squared, that minus becomes a positive. So I'm going to go on over here. Let's go on over here. Minus sin 45, if I square it, it's going to be the sin square of 45 degrees minus 1. And the minus times a minus gives a positive as well. So it's sin square of 30 degrees. The sin of 45, if you go there, it's the y on r. So there's root 2 on 2. Root 2 on 2 squared minus 1. And the sinus of 30 is, the root of 1 is 1 on 2. So it's a half. We know that all. So that's a half square. So if I square that, we've got a 2 on 4, that's a half, minus 1, gives me minus a half, and a half square gives me a quarter. So I've got minus a half on a quarter. If I do a bit of fraction mathematics, I multiply with the reciprocal, ek vermenigvuldig met die omgekeerde, en my finale antwoord is dan gelijk aan minus 2. Kom ons doen nog 2 voorbeelde waar ons hierdie gebruik. Ons reduksieformules en ons kaasdiagram en ons spesiale hoeke. Let's do 2 more. Die sin van 110 grade plus the cosinus of 200 degrees plus sin square, and I'm going to immediately write it on the outer side of 350 degrees. There's a square, but I'm going to immediately write it over there. Okay, let's use our reduction. I've got the sin of, and I can use a cofunction or I can use a reduction formula, it doesn't matter. Let's use a cofunction of 90 degrees plus 20. There we've got cos 200, so we can take, let's see, we can take a 180 plus 20. So I've got a cos of 180 plus 20 degrees, and that's very good. Hoekom sê juffrou so? Want daar het ek 'n 20 en ek het 'n 20. Dis nie 'n spesiale hoek nie, maar dis dieselfde hoeke. So al wanneer ek nie 'n spesiale hoek kan genereer nie, dan moet ek uitkyk dat my hoeke dieselfde is sodat dit moontlik kan uitkanselleer. Hierdie ouetjie, ek het sin van 315. Dit is die sin van 360 minus 45. That's a special angle. And remember, I must square the whole thing. Now let's apply that. Sin van 90 plus is gelijk aan cos van 20, 'n kofunksie wat ek ken. Cos van 180 plus is gelijk aan min cos van 20. See what's happening here? That will cancel. En 360 min van sin is min sin van 45 grade. So that's going to cancel that because it's cos 20 minus cos 20, and I'm sitting with the minus of the sin of 45, and let's just quickly see, it's a square, so if I square that, it's going to become a positive. And then it's the root of 2 on 2, we go to 45, y on r, 45, opposite on hypotenuse, and then we square it to get 2 on 4, and that gives me a half. Beautiful. Let's do the last example. You know your reduction formulas and you know your cofunctions and you know your special angles, then this sums is really enjoyable. Okay, the last one. Tangent of 240. The sinus of a minus angle. I've got the tangent of minus 30. And I've got the cos of 370. So if you look at the tangent of 240, then we can apply 270, but 270 is a cofunction, and that's not going to work because cofunctions is just for sin and cos. And in the grade 12 syllabus, there's no cofunctions for the tangent function. So we're going to do 180 plus 60. Reduction formula. Okay. Sin of minus 280, minus means we are in the fourth quadrant because it's 0 degrees or 360 degrees minus. So it's going to be a minus sin of 280. And 280, we can go with the cofunction of 270 plus 10. 270 plus 10. Remember, it's a multiplication. Then we've got the tangent of minus 30. In this quadrant, it's negative, so it's negative minus tangent of 30. And then we've got the cos of 370, and that we can change to the cos of 360 plus 10. Why are we going to use 10? Although it's not a special angle, want daarbo is ook 'n 10 grade en daarom sien ek, miskien kan hierdie uitkanselleer. 180 grade plus, daar is dan positief, so ek het die tan van 60 maal sin van 270 plus is min cos. So die min en die min maak 'n positief, so dit word die cos van 10 grade. Min tan van 30, substitute just now, multiply with cos of 360 plus positive, so I've got cos of 10 degrees, and that's excellent because those two can cancel. Now I'm going to get the tangent of 60, let's go to 60, it's y on x, so it's root 3 on 1 divided by minus the tangent of 30 is root 1 on root 3. So if you multiply it with a reciprocal, you will get root 3 times root 3, and that gives you 3. So the minus stays, and the answer is 3, because root 1, the root of 1 equals 1, and 1 times 1 gives you 1. So your answer is minus 3. Dit is dan dit vir reduksieformules waar ons leerwerk gebruik sonder 'n sakrekenaar. Graad 11, daar's nou baie oefenwerk, so gaan oefen lekker. Sien julle môre.